he was just worried about anything other than Darius. I mean, obviously, Bwipo plays Darius quite well. I'm sure he has other counter picks into Udyr that are quite annoying, and he's not really used to playing a lot of different matchups. I assume
you think
Impact...
it's just because it's Bwipo?
Yeah,
he has some crazy stuff cooked up?
Bwipo is just really hard to blind pick against. I can't really... he's very good at playing with different drafts.
I've got to say then, do you think TL gets enough out of being on red side? Because it's like, if you're not getting much out of your 5th pick counter pick, if you're going to be blinding your mid laner, I feel like if you get no big counter pick advantages on red, you should just go blue.
I mean, I think it makes sense though. If you're TL, you don't really want to give Bwipo the 5P. So it makes sense.
Super devastating.
Yeah. So like, you'd honestly rather play these standard matchups like Renekton Aatrox than play Renekton into something random like Oh God or something, you know? Like, I think that's what they're thinking. Also, Bwipo, like Bwipo's Olaf and stuff like this is really, really threatening into like a lot of the blind picks right now in top lane. So I think it makes sense why they're going red side.
Honestly though, then a lot of credit deserved by Bwipo. If he is really that game warping that it's like, not only can you not blind pick, you have to go red side and you're not even getting a good counter pick. Like, that means one player is really screwing you in draft.
I mean, I think Impact is also kind of weak in draft, to be fair. Like, I think like he doesn't really play a lot of the really good counters to a lot of the blind picks, which hurts them a lot in draft.
Yeah, so that is definitely something that TL will have to try to adapt to. It's looking like Senna Nautilus bot. We have Varus and Rell on the other side. So it is going to be another Varus game here for Yeon. Are you more of a fan of the lethality Varus or on-hit style? Because I got really worried for TL once the Renekton got that far ahead, and it's lethality because it was kind of like, oh, who's going to deal with the beefy front?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard because their whole comp is ranged, and then they have one melee champion or 2 melee champions that are just giga-fed all of a sudden out of nowhere. So it's really hard to build around. And I mean, I don't think that lethality Varus is too bad against like tanks. You can still kill him obviously with the W, but the on-hit Varus definitely one-shots at tanks. Playing tanks against that feels unplayable.
Yeah. One of the change-ups that Team Liquid opted in for was banning the Talia instead of the Senna, which is why we have the Senna Nautilus locked in for FlyQuest. But Jensen has gone to his 3rd pick after the Orianna and the Talia, which is the Hwei. For those that still don't know, that Udyr is still globally banned around all major regions. And Team Liquid have opted in for the Ziggs.
Ziggs. I mean, everyone kind of rags on APA for being the Ziggs one trick, but if you're gonna leave it up, you can't blame a guy for playing it.
It's good. I'm glad he picked it. I mean, I think Ziggs has a lot of different strengths, and people aren't really used to playing against it. I'm sure that they have a good plan against Ziggs, considering they're giving it to APA. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good shot for TL to have APA.
I mean, I think it. So if you're not looking at this from the FlyQuest side, obviously you have to pick your jungler, you have to pick your top laner. Are you now concerned about getting some more dive in, something to be able to get in the back line and deal with the Varus, to deal with the Ziggs, especially if it's a lethality Varus? This is an annoying poke comp already being built up here by TL. So presumably you need something to go in there with the Senna and Nautilus.
Yeah, you want some sort of engage. I mean, there's not many options in top lane, I feel, that are like super good, like blind pick, that are also good at engaging. You could argue like Gragas, stuff like this, but usually it's the jungler, something like Jarvan maybe in jungle, something like Wukong that can get on top of the backline. I think would definitely help. Obviously, Hwei is already banned out, so that hurts their chances of getting that champion, which is very good against at diving.
So with some of the bans now coming through, obviously focus towards top lane in the 2nd phase. We have the Olaf getting banned out, we have the Renekton getting banned out. Talk me through what you're thinking of in these 2 top laners' shoes, what ban you might be wanting from Bwipo's side, what champion you might be looking for here.
As Bwipo, I mean, it's kind of hard. Obviously, they clearly banned Olaf because Bwipo will play Olaf into Renekton, and they want to take the Renekton away because clearly Impact does not have a good counter to Renekton. Now Bwipo will likely probably just blind pick something like Aatrox or one of the other, like, you know, kind of normal top laners, maybe something like Jace. He bans Nah here, so maybe possibly Ksante or Udyr he's looking for. It's kind of hard to tell. Could also just be looking for Aatrox, but I think that Impact will likely play Jax into Aatrox on 5, which I think is quite a good matchup for Jax. So it's kind of difficult to blind here for Bwipo, considering he also didn't ban like Malphite for Jace, for example, or something like this. So I'm actually confused on what he's going to look to blind pick here.
All right, well, it's Lee Sin that's going to be locked in for Umti. Does this change your thought at all? You know, it's a relatively strong early game jungler on top side. You know, is that actually shifting what you might be considering picking?
I mean, realistically, you pick Lee Sin, you already have set up on your bot side, so it's pretty easy to find Lee Sin Qs. You can look for it at a lot of different angles. I think Lee Sin's generally just a strong 2v2 jungler, and likely they will just save counter pick for 5. Picking on 4, you don't really have a lot of good options for TL.
So it is going to be Udyr for Bwipo.
Yeah, that's classic Bwipo. Let's see if the Darius is coming out from Impact on 5 here.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Oh, thinking of Impact's champion pool, what would you want to see him play into this? Like, Impact has played some kind of more like niche champions as counter picks, things like Mord into tanks, and he does have his champions that he'll bring out. But you know, knowing what he's played this year, knowing what you know, what do you expect?
I mean, I feel like knowing what he's played, it's like there's no really good pick on 5 here. Realistically, if you play like TF or something, you pick TF on 5, you have a lot of control on side lanes, you have Ziggs, you have a lot of kill threat and all the immobile carries, you win your lane. You could play something like Jace maybe, but Impact once again doesn't play that champion, so I feel like he's going to pick something like Aatrox or something like this, and it's just going to be kind of bad. I hope he doesn't though.
I think that reaction says it all that we needed.
Yeah.
We saved 5 pick for Ksante
Out of 10, that's
into the Udyr.
I mean, Ksante doesn't win your team the draft on 5 here. Like, I feel like right now it's kind of hard. I mean, you obviously have Ziggs Varus poke. You have a way to win the game, but I feel like there's so many better options than Ksante, but obviously he doesn't really have many options. So.
Sure. Meanwhile, FlyQuest, we know that the Udyr was locked in, but the big thing that I was excited for is Inspired's Viego. I mean, this guy has literally gotten pentakills on the major
One of the
region
only
stage.
junglers, it feels like, to ever get a pentakill.
For seemingly how so many people talk about, oh, Viego's such an easy champion to get resets with and pentakills with. It's still one of the coolest things to see as they just completely smurf on a fight. And when Inspired does it, it's definitely super flashy.
Yeah. There's not generally kind of some of the more common pairings, though, I would say. Generally, when you go with Viego, you have a lot of upfront burst. Hwei can burst pretty hard if you can actually hit your full combo. But we're looking at Udyr, Senna. Like, these are not the super high upfront damage champions you're thinking of. A lot of people play like Viego, Ari, and things like that.
I think it's very likely that the reason why they played Viego is obviously you have a very strong jungle 1v1, and top lane, when you're blinding Udyr, you'll likely have a lot of control of the lane. You'll have a lot of proxy timers. I think what they'll likely do in topside here is they'll look to proxy on Udyr, invade the enemy jungler, with Viego being stronger than Lee Sin in early game. Obviously, Udyr having a lot of times against Ksante.
The big thing, too, is that whenever you are playing Lee Sin, most of the time you cannot get a defensive ward for yourself as the jungler because you want to save that ward for ward hops early on. So a lot of times, we especially saw it in Challengers League as well, you would see players proactively invade against Lee Sin just knowing that that is something against them.
Definitely, yeah. It's going to be a banger, I hope.
Yes, sir.
Just like game 1.
I mean, Team Liquid put up a hell of a fight in game 1. We're going to see if that also pays true in game 2 as we are on the Rift. FlyQuest versus Team Liquid. For those who are just tuning in, FlyQuest currently 1-up in the series. It was a hell of a fight put up by Team Liquid, but they are still down, and they are the ones on the back foot.
So I feel like I know based off your reactions from some of the draft, but
we do have a sideline interview, so we're going to head on over to Emily with Team Liquid coach Spawn.
Hello, I'm here with Team Liquid coach Spawn after game 1. First of all, obviously recovering from the loss, what was your talk with the boys in between games?
Pretty much, the top lane was just a disaster, right? But bottom lane went pretty good for us. So we just said that, you know, if top lane didn't explode like that, we're pretty confident in the game. We think it's easier for us to replicate our win conditions than it is for them to replicate theirs. So we're pretty happy.
All right, and then obviously I never ask specific draft questions because you guys give me nothing. But in terms of executing this draft, what would you like to see from TL early?
I mean, I think our draft is really easy this time, actually. We got like Rell, Ziggs, Varus. Like, it's not all that complicated to see what people will want to do in this draft. So hopefully we can just throw some bombs at them and they die. All
right, well, we'll see if that happens. Back to you, Raafaa.
all right. So
Meanwhile,
how FFable is this game now?
I mean,
if you're Bwipo.
That was some top tier analysis from Spawn. I like it. I mean, obviously, I think TL had a pretty good plan. They knew that Bwipo wanted to invade them on the red buff because he was very strong level 1. So they sat at 115 in the bush. He was looking to run through tri-bush, and then they chunked him really hard. I think that Bwipo possibly would have died if Ksante landed the 3rd Q here. But realistically, I mean, Udyr is kind of broken, so he might be able to just sustain through. I mean, Udyr is kind of broken, so he might be able to just sustain through the Ksante's poke here.
I mean,
Ksante's kind of weak.
Bwipo was down so much HP, but now he has just completely equalized the health advantage.
Yeah, and now Ksante has no ghost, and Viego ran straight top lane and he has no ward, so he is probably just going to die here. Very, very likely.
Impact is looking a little cooked here. Inspired
he has W, but
has
he's
flash.
maybe he
Waits
can
out
run
the
for one.
W. There it is. Yeah! First blood for Inspired.
All right, that is actually crazy that Udyr wins from that position after how bad that level 1 was.
Yeah.
I mean, he's starting ding rate. Deering had to use both pots instantly and started at, what, 150 HP maybe in the lane?
Yeah.
So pretty crazy. Impact now has to TP back. That is 2 games in a row where Impact TP back with his only buy being a refillable. This time it's even worse as he died before that happened too.
Complete disaster for him, but to be fair, it's not too bad. I mean, Udyr doesn't get the kill, so he doesn't get too big of a lead, and Ksante can farm up pretty easily in this matchup. Plus, Lee Sin obviously gets the enemy red buff, and Viego doesn't really have a red buff now, but at the same time, he has a Ruby Crystal Longsword running into this fight, so I'm surprised.
Charges face first into the shield breaker.
Why are they fighting?
We'll find out
Ziggs
soon.
is here.
Yeon's going to get caught up by this root. The dredge line connects on an Umti, but AP is here, so it's a 4-on-3. FlyQuest, don't lose a man. I don't think no one burned any summoner spells either.
Yeah, there's just the ghost from Yeon was popped there as he was trying to get over there and help out in that situation, but they are going to be able to at least push them out. AP8 makes the roam. He does end up TPing back down towards mid lane, so we're going to watch this one more time. Not really much to talk through, though, in this one.
Yeah, they just have no ghosts on either. Ksante has no E, so pretty free kill. Almost got a kill, though. That was very, very
really
close. I think Bwipo could have just kited away a little bit earlier, but...
Yeah. 1 auto attack, actually. He's so his expressions are so funny, man.
Impact's for sure tilted.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would feel if that, after that game 1 and then that game 2 goes like this from that position. Feels really, really bad for Impact.
The observer just checked. Bwipo literally hit 1 HP.
That's crazy.
Like actual 1 HP. Not the, oh, bro, he was 1 HP. No,
Yeah,
he was actually 1 HP. That is so sad.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff can snowball, right? You know, it's like you miss out on that kill. Now you sometimes then miss out on the next kill just barely. And that can be a really frustrating cycle in League.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about that Impact being a tenured career player and can handle the mental endurance. I mean, this is a lot to endure right now.
For sure. He has to have a very strong mental. But right now, TL is actually looking to crash this top wave, and it looks like it's going to be a complete banger in the top side.
Now, Massu with the roam. It's a 3-on-1 because Umti is completely cut off. Oh, can he ward hop over the wall? It's just a flash. Nice maneuvers from Umti, but the flash fall from Inspired doesn't land the Spectral Maw, but just one more Blade of the Ruined King takes out Umti.
Oh, 2 early kills for Viego as well is so devastating. This champion is so OP when it's ahead. It's able to get its own resets. It's so hard to take down. Just a really smart roam from Massu that made all the difference. This is some of the power that people talk about with Senna TK, but it's Senna Nautilus in this case, but same principle, is that you are not locked down towards that bottom lane. It's so hard to dive these tanks that are farming down there, so he can make this roam towards Grubs, surprises him, punishes Umti, loses his flash. That is rough.
And what Umti was actually looking to do here, they were trying to crash the top wave that was slow pushing out, and obviously CoreJJ was also coming up to 3v3 topside, and he would just face check the bush way too fast. He should just be running into the top wave and trying to crash that wave together, but ends up making a pretty bad mistake there. Now Inspired's in a very good position to carry this game.
It does mean that Busio is not going to get that much farm in this 2v1 setup.
Yeah.
As Yeon and CoreJJ are just going to continue crashing this wave in. I mean, this is almost 2 turret plates. Not quite. Inspired is also going to be here to make sure that they can't get the second crash in, but Impact going for all out onto Bwipo. It's level 6 versus level 6. He's got the power, and there it is. Impact gets retribution in the top lane.
Nicely done. Even with missing out on that last kill by 1 HP, gets a solo kill anyway. And it is Yeon. We haven't touched on this. It is going on hit this time around. So there are obviously some pretty beefy members over on the other side. It's going to be Udyr building tank. It's going to be Busio on the Nautilus building tank. And he is quite far ahead. Obviously, Busio, was kind of the victim of the roam that does, cost him something, as he had to lose a lot of the farm down on bot side. But this is plates going down. It's Yeon getting pretty far ahead. It's them taking a dragon. So honestly, looking not that bad at all for TL.
And funnily enough, the reason why Udyr couldn't base there was actually because he killed the Lee Sin. So Umti inted, and then Udyr could not recall, and Ksante got back to the lane before he recalled. So it was actually quite a good play from Umti. Very well played from him.
Wow.
Tactical int. Nice. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, he called it a mistake. He was seeing 2 steps ahead.
Exactly. He's a lot smarter than me, this guy.
That's the passport diff, as Sven calls it. An O's jungler would never.
Exactly. They actually got the first dragon trading for a red buff in topside camps. So Viego's going to get a little bit of a lead, but realistically...
Chain of Corruptions right on to Busio. Might be in trouble. Sonic Wave connects. And he ward hops in to maximize the execute damage on the resonating strike.
Yeah, nicely done. Didn't even have to use the ulti there for Lee Sin, so... No point in using your summoners. Massu's going to have to leave, though. There's no way you can stay on this until Nautilus comes back. So the TP will come through. We'll be giving up a little bit more farm, though, and again, a little bit more gold lost there as 2 plates now falling on that bottom side. And Yeon out to a really good start.
And this game, Varus is in a really, really good position. And usually when you have these tank top laners, you want your AD carry to be in a very, very good position because whoever kills the front first usually wins the fight. And now with Varus being so far ahead and in a really good position in lane, I think it's actually puts him in a pretty good position to fight team fights very well.
They also have pretty good peel for him, right? Like, being able to have Lee Sin for disengaged kicks, satchel charge coming through, obviously you have all the CC from Rell, you have the ability to peel as well pretty well on Ksante. Do you think this is going to be, very much like a front-to-back game, or do you still think TL will look for play, look for dives, or will be more defensive?
I think it's really hard to look on the Udyr side this game. I mean, realistically, you have Ksante and Rell not really killing anyone on the Udyr side. They could look on Hwei's side with Lee Sin. Lee Sin is a very good champion at finding picks. But I do think it will likely come down to, dragon stacking, dragon team fights, and hopefully they can get some side towers with Ziggs. Maybe they can end up getting this bot tower, rotating Ziggs down and using W on the tower. And that'll be one way they can maybe snowball and get some gold.
All right, so FlyQuest has a slight gold lead. Which team would you rather be playing for, though, at this point?
I mean, at this point, I think I'd rather be blue side. It's kind of close, to be honest. It's not a big difference. I'd rather be the Ksante right now, I guess, just because I don't think Udyr is going to do much in this game, but Ksante will at least have some control of some team fights. I think he's in a pretty good spot now after getting that solo kill to be pretty strong in team fights.
Yeah, speaking of impacts Ksante and Bwipo in the top lane, we got some stats about these 2 top laners who I think many would agree have been the best 2 top performing top laners during the regular season, and this is what they've got to sport it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're pretty similar as a player, to be honest with you. Obviously, Bwipo has a lot more versatility in draft, but overall, Impact and Bwipo are very good in the laning phase. They generally play team fights very well. They understand compositions in the overall game very well, just because they have so much experience.
So far right now, FlyQuest bringing the numbers advantage to secure what should be 6 scrubs for themselves. Rest of Team Liquid are trying to feint towards the river. Umti trying to get in range to see if he can at least smite one of them to guarantee at least it won't be 6, but all 6 scrubs are secured by FlyQuest. APA is pushing on the bottom side of the map, gets the force TP out of Jensen. And so far, FlyQuest kind of rocking. Oh, Jensen's going to fire out the Spiraling Despair. It's a teleport coming in from Bwipo. AP is but he solo kills Jensen before Bwipo gets there. And if Impact can get there in time, he can bail out APA out of a bad situation. He's out of there.
Nicely done by APA. TL know they can't challenge at the grub, so APA just stays bot, gets a plate, chunks out Jensen with a perfectly timed ult as he comes in.
I heard him type something.
I heard the typing as well. Maybe we'll get to see it, but that is huge, man. He gets the solo kill and survives. Nicely done by APA, showcasing the power of the Ziggs, and now he just TPs straight back towards top.
At the end of the first game, for those that didn't get to see as we tossed a break, we got to see the comms from Jensen. He said, I have never seen someone talk so much trash for being so bad. APA just solo killed this guy.
Yeah, that can get in your head, man. When you're getting frustrated, that's why. I don't know how you feel about this, but if players are typing like that, I feel like it should just be in pre-mute before the series. Don't let them get in your head.
I used to have JoJo blocked. He was annoying as hell. APA is definitely
Do you still have him blocked on your team?
I mean, he doesn't type any timers in chat, so I think I have him blocked still, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. But, I mean, honestly, as funny as the trash talk is, hearing Jensen talk about that in comms, to me was like, APA is kind of in your head. Like maybe Jensen's APA's head too, but when you're saying that kind of stuff and then he solo kills you, you're tilted.
Oh yeah, he's definitely playing worse more than APA is.
Oh, the flash W doesn't connect on the APA. He still has a flash. The satchel charge gets him out of range and he flashes the severing bolt. I mean, I think he's not just in Jensen's head. He might be in Aspired's head too.
A nice little backstep to actually dodge that stun, and now they're looking for another.
Busio might be in trouble. Death charge onto 2, but Umti is here. Oh, was trying to predict the flash, but it's just a little too late. It doesn't matter. Yeon cleans up the kill on the back end of it. Impact might be chasing down Bwipo. Should be fine as he just runs back to the tower.
He's going to be able to get out of there, but nice set of plays for TL, getting a couple kills across the map as they're able to find the pick onto Busio. And again, Yeon getting more and more accelerated. It's not the end of the world if the kind of farming tank in this situation gets a bit behind, but he's down 40 CS, and The Nautilus is not going to be strong.
Oh,
he is in the
man.
head. I mean, yeah, he's definitely going to be in the head. I hope they have him muted at this point. Also, looking at specific to Ziggs right now, both mid and bot towers are very, very low. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ziggs just push this top wave and run straight mid and just satchel the tower. And just run straight bot and then satchel that tower as well. It's going to be quite a big gold difference. Like, he's going to get an extra like 1k gold right now just by running to these lanes, and it's pretty hard for Fly to do anything about it.
I will say, while Busio is pretty far behind, Massu's doing a good job getting souls. You know, we're 13 minutes in. He does have 59 souls thus far.
Berserker moment.
Oh, well, deja vu. APA has no flash, and Busio doesn't have the ulti, but they've cut him off from his escape route, so he's just going to farm up the minion wave. No way for APA to get out. The Spiraling Despair is going to take him out in the end. And FlyQuest, they finally got him.
Yeah, they got him. They keep on coming back for him. They finally do take him out. We'll see if there's going to be anything more off that, though. Smart when you're in that situation where you know you're guaranteed dead. Just kill the wave.
Yeah.
They can't take any plates off the back of that. So we do have, obviously, more playoff matches coming up. It is going to be 100 Thieves versus Energy in lower bracket on Saturday. And then Sunday, it will be the loser of this versus Dignitas.
And realistically, APA there, he didn't need to hit the top tower. He tried to hit the top tower instead of just rotating mid and getting mid tower with his W. So I think it's quite a bad mistake for him to make. And
Oh, Chain of Corruptions, cleanse from Massu. Oh, could be good. And the Q from CoreJJ, Massu preemptively flashes just in case Core wanted to line up with his own flash and guarantee the kill.
Yeon is performing. That's what we like to see out of the bot lane.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this was actually, I don't know what your opinion is on it, but Vulcan, when he was on the desk after your series yesterday, said that he thought Yeon and CoreJJ were the best bot lane in the LCS.
Damn.
Thoughts?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't feel like any bot lane is like super good. I feel like Massu, Busio, and our bot lane are both really good too, but it's pretty close. I think Yeon and CoreJJ could definitely be argued for.
Jensen might be in trouble. Still has flash available, but Impact and CoreJJ want to cut off his path. He pops.
Nicely
Oh,
timed.
nice Terrifying Visage for the fear, interrupting CoreJJ.
Yeah, that was actually perfect. You know, didn't throw it out early, reacted to the ability there from Core, and is able to get out without using his flash. That's something I feel like Jensen is always really good at, is waiting for abilities to react to them. He doesn't always try to anticipate. He's always been very good at dodging skill shots, and now the whole squad, man, there is 5 bots.
He's been typing too much.
I hope you have your pen ready, because you're going to sign some fan signatures from all 5 members of FlyQuest. The teleport comes in from Impact, but it's too late. They've already got their man that they wanted.
Everyone's coming from TL.
They take out Inspired. It's a huge
He's in the
shutdown.
head.
The rest of Team Liquid, the reinforcements are here. Bwipo is run down by Yeon. The rest of the members of Team Liquid have corralled around FlyQuest. Spiraling Despair is going to be huge on the damage. CoreJJ will eventually pop as Busio's left to die, but Yeon finds Jensen in the back half as well.
APA is in their heads, man. You're going to send 5 bot for that dive. They end up losing so much more. 4 kills. They lose the tower, which is actually the first tower knocked down, so even more gold going TL's way. Sure, you got the Ziggs, but at what cost? Yeon is likely going to have a Rage Blade soon here. He is so far ahead. Here is the dive. We can see it one more time. There's not even minions to be able to actually tank this back up. So much early damage goes on to Bwipo. So as everyone is coming down from TL, they're already all softened up.
Yeah, and it obviously cleared the wave with his ulti, but I think they just really wanted to kill him. I think Jensen must have been calling that one for sure.
It's a type racer diff, man.
Yeah, they had the move from bot lane. They don't know where Lee Sin is. He's coming off of base from the Herald, and Ksante has TP. I think it's just such a mental gap, honestly, from APA. He's too good, this guy.
Look at him little dancing in his
He's just
chair.
vibing. APA may have gone down, but he has won the mental war against FlyQuest, forcing so many of their resources to be invested just to shut him down.
If I am FlyQuest's coach, I am getting on all my players' PCs and disabling chat.
Guys, we cannot be serious.
I agree.
Busio might be in trouble here. Severing Bolt, get some decent damage onto Umti and Impact. Busio's forced to flash. I mean, he's out of there, but that gives Team Liquid
tower's
priority
gone.
for this mid wave.
Yeah, you have the Herald for the Ziggs. They're going to look to go for an extra one maybe here and look to W the tower as Ziggs. It's going to be really, really hard for TL to... I mean, hard for Fly to deal with this, rather.
Teleport is forced out of Jensen. Here comes, or it's Busio, my mistake. Impact, separated from the rest of the squad here.
Jensen.
Doesn't have all out, so he can't go over the wall quite yet. So he positions for Inspired. The alley-oop right into the rest of the team. Can FlyQuest carry the momentum forward? Bwipo's charging on the right side of the flank. Jensen's trying to deal the damage as well, but he's... Can we look at Massu as well? He finds another frontline member, but Yeon is just firing arrow after arrow. He steps up, the flash forward. Yeon puts him down into the ground. Jensen is forced away, and the rest of Team Liquid stand victorious.
When on-hit Varus is this fed, it doesn't matter what you're doing to the rest of the team, man. This guy stacks lethal tempo. He is going to crush you. I'm looking at these low health bars on various TL members, and I'm just looking at Yeon sitting there, Legolas in the background.
Exactly. He's annihilating all of them, and right now, Yeon is so fed. Obviously, he has no flash, so maybe Nautilus can look for a play on him, but he is just so fed, and they have to somehow kill him to win a team fight from this point.
Yeah, and here it is one more time. You know, Impact obviously was in a pretty bad spot. He was split from the team.
Junglers do not know how to play against Ksante. Why are you giving him third Q into ult here?
Yeah.
He has no way of getting over the wall. Maybe his ears was up in like 1 second, but realistically, I don't know why you're giving him third Q and ult. It's really bad by Inspired.
Yeah, very likely Jensen could have actually just killed him, you know, in that pool. Plus, the rough part is Jensen went around there, so Jensen was so separated from the team, so he was very late to arrive because he walked all the way around. Then the fight gets separated. He brings him back into the middle of his squad. Inspired, who started 2-0, by the way, we were thinking, or at least I was thinking, he was going to be in a great position to carry this game. He hasn't been able to do anything since then.
I mean, I don't know if it's the APA chat log messages that it's really throwing FlyQuest for a loop here, but something is going on in the comms. They are not playing as cleanly as we would expect. A first seed going into the playoffs should be against Team Liquid, who are the 4th seed.
And Yeon is playing really, really well these past 2 games. It's actually very impressive to see Yeon playing so well, and it doesn't really feel like he's making a lot of big mistakes. So I'm glad to see that Yeon is the GOAT.
I've always felt like when he's at his best, he has a really high ceiling, right? And, you know, it's just been about, can he find that consistency? He has no summoners, and he is in an awkward spot. We'll see if he can get out.
They need to protect him. Death Charge connects right onto the flashless Yeon. Dawning Shadow gets some damage. The Spiraling Despair could just be his doom, and he is taken out of the fight by Jensen. Now up to APA to see if he can find the damage. He already threw out the Mega Inferno Bomb, and Impact trying to kite out Busio, but lives at the end of it. Bwipo wasn't even in the fight. He's been split pushing on the top side of the map.
Yeah, he's going to be able to chip away at that tier 2. That is a slow burn, though, for Udyr. Does not kill that thing very fast. Does have the grub damage to help out with that, but they're going to be able to go down, get this tier 2 bot, so we'll be able to claim that. Not too bad. It's a good pick onto Yeon. They needed to try to force around the missing summoners that you were talking about, Fudge. But clearly, you know, TL are able to get something back at the very least.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they shouldn't have been so split on the map. Maybe Varus should be the one in bot lane, just so that he can't get engaged on from, you know, both sides of mid lane. It's pretty hard to not get engaged on at that point. But Udyr getting this extra tier 2 gold doesn't matter too much. I feel like he's still going to die pretty quickly to the Varus. And Ziggs getting that tier 2 gold can hurt a lot with a lot of the poke. They don't have too much MR on their carries, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them just hold full control of this top side here as TL.
It did feel like some of the stuff didn't actually really get blocked onto Yeon as well. Like the Spiraling Despair got hit onto him. If Umti steps forward and tanks that, maybe he's able to live, right? Because it did kind of hit that knife's edge, where if Varus doesn't die right there, he gets back and you can't funnel into that choke, and all of a sudden he goes crazy. So it is one of those situations where if you're missing your summoners as an AD, sometimes you just need someone to int for you and soak the skill shots, right? Like he's the most important member of TL right now. If they keep him alive, you can win that fight.
Yeah, I think one of the jungler support must have been in a bad position because Ksante was right in front of him and blocking as much as he could, but realistically the other teammates had to do something to help him though.
Oh, teleports. Oh, double teleports coming in for APA. He has to walk to the right side of the jungle where he can join his team. He flashes to safety, but now they're getting pincered around. Can they buy space? CoreJJ tries to find the flank on the right side, and they have to peel towards that side of the flank, but AP is taking on the fight. Umti's back into the backline. Yeon can't hit. He was separated from the fight for the first few seconds. Now he's trying to hit as well, but the rest of Team Liquid, they're starting to get taken down as Inspired is looking for the resets, finds the Spectral Maul, but he gets bursted by Yeon. And now it's a 3-on-2 against FlyQuest. Has the dodge to Severing Bolt.
Low.
Jensen is looking for more damage.
He doesn't know where he
Yeon,
is.
Is he going to try to assassinate him from the back line? Oh, he's just getting a recall out. He's out of there.
Wow, yeah, well played there. Yeon early on couldn't actually hit very hard.
He's gonna find Massu. So much HP! Oh! Trade 1 for 1!
Nicely done.
It actually turns out a little bit better for the Varus here because Senna now has no flash. Varus keeps his flash and Varus gets the shutdown on Senna, so this actually ends up pretty bad for FlyQuest despite it looking like a good fight from the start with the double TP.
Yeah, Yeon is actually playing these fights really, really well. I mean, he couldn't contribute that much early because of the depth charge. The Nautilus throws ult on him. You just have to back it out, right? So, you know, they get that early ult on him. He has to kite back because otherwise he's going to die with the follow-up CC. But then he walks around that right side of the flank, starts getting damage out, starts really pumping here, and does a good job to actually just focus down Inspired as he goes over the wall, tries to burst him out with Massu. Jensen wasn't in position, unfortunately, to be able to follow up on that, and they're able to get that kill back.
Yeah, Inspired got a little bit too excited then. I feel like Senna should have been able to just auto W, auto...
I mean, he hit everything.
Yeah, but he canceled one of the orders at the start. I feel like he should
Yeah.
have won, perhaps, but it's hard to tell. Maybe he could have flashed a Varus or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Also tough in those kind of panic moments.
Yeah, of course, for sure.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. He also wasn't expecting Varus to be in that bush, clearly, so...
Well, they're on a Baron, and this is going to go down in a hurry here with the Varus. It's another strength of this champion.
Yep.
And now you have to walk through the Ziggs mines, walk through Impact, who's in position to zone, but it's not actually dying that quick. So FlyQuest will get here, and it's going to have to likely be a turn unless they think they can just peel Inspired.
Yeah, they're not committing all the damage to it quite yet. 4,000 HP. Yeon is still hitting, but they find Inspired and they want to lock him down immediately. But Busio finds APA in the back half. Busio using the death charge to go through every single
Yeon.
member. Flashes right on top of Yeon. Yeon is completely isolated from the rest of his team. FlyQuest have found the vital carries for Team Liquid, and they run away with this fight.
This was such a close fight, back and forth, and so many of them. And then now FlyQuest just crushed them 5-0 and the Baron. And just like that, everything TL have been working towards all game long is gone.
Yeah, the position on that Baron is really bad. Usually whenever you hit Baron, you need to have people that can hold the chokes so that they can't run in and kill your ADC because it's going to be in a bad position. And here, they really couldn't hold the chokes. Ksante was just getting chunked to the death. Ziggs tried his best, but he couldn't really do anything. I feel like the Baron start was just a bad start from Team Liquid.
It did not pan out great for Team Liquid. What was a 3,000 gold advantage going into that objective is now gone.
So talk us through what you would like to see in this situation.
So realistically, they're trying to go too fast on the Viego. I think Ziggs getting engaged on from the start is really bad. I think Lee Sin is trying to like kill the Hwei instead of just healing his ADC. I don't really feel like you can kill the Hwei 1v1. Maybe he thought his teammates could help him, but realistically, I think it's just in that river, it's really hard to actually peel your ADC, and just starting the Baron without full vision control is kind of bad, I think.
Yeah, it seemed to me like they just really overcommitted for the kill on Inspired,
Yeah.
right? Like, as soon as he ults away, there's just so much distance made.
Center route hits up a couple members of Team Liquid here. Bwipo is able to make it on out. Down 50% HP. Dredgeline connects onto Umti. Tries to ward hop, but he was interrupted by Busio. And the rest of FlyQuest clean up another kill.
Yeah, that's rough. Umti goes down again. And, you know, thinking back to the previous fight as well, had Umti just been playing on his AD and just kicks Udyr away, Nautilus isn't going to solo kill that guy, right? So, you know, they do make some mistakes. They are going to pay for it big time, though, because this is a 6 scrub team with Baron. Means they're going to get full access to your towers. They're going to be knocking them down in a hurry. And now TL are going to have to kind of hold the fort here, try to weather the storm. They have some pretty good wave clear, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, they're likely just going to end up having to give this inhib.
Yeah.
6 grubs, it's just impossible to do
Massu is just wailing away at the inhibitor tower. This inhibitor should follow next. Umti is still not up for another 5 seconds. And just like that, FlyQuest have broken this game wide open, an open lane that super minions will be pouring through, just adding more pressure for the side of FlyQuest.
Yeah, and they can walk back, potentially take this dragon on the way out if they want. As they are heading back out on the map, looking to ping up towards top lane. So Inspired going to be heading over to the dragon. I'm a little bit confused that they're kind of just splitting on the map like this, because now it feels like there is an angle that TL could actually walk in and take the dragon, but they obviously don't know where all of FlyQuest is.
They have absolutely no information on the map here, and Udyr is going to push... Oh, APA is maybe getting caught out in here. No, he is not. Okay. I think it's likely that it's going to play on the top side and ignore Dragon. Dragon Soul isn't really a condition at this point in the game. It's super, super late for FlyQuest, so they're just going to try to make the most use of that Baron in top lane.
Okay, well, he has Flash, and he's got Umti in his...
Everyone is coming, though. If he keeps walking this way, he's walking into the Varus.
Yeah, Bwipo might just be
But they're going to lose 2 towers
empty.
mid.
Yeah, I think Bwipo is just giving his life while FlyQuest
Maybe
potentially
3
just
towers
take
mid.
3 towers, maybe an inhibitor on the back end of it as well. I mean, Bwipo's bought a lot of time. No way he escapes, right? The Mega Inferno Bomb, he's surrounded by his team. He's out of there. Bwipo throws up the gold TFT emote. The rest of Team Liquid are now trying to collapse. They have to force this fight while they have particularly a numbers advantage here. Umti all-inning everything onto Busio. He's separated as Inspired is getting chased down by Impact. Umti joins the fray as well. Inspired is taken out. Busio's isolated. He's going to be gone in just a moment. But the rest of FlyQuest still have pressure through this bottom lane.
Yeah, they do get those 2 towers mid, and Bwipo does get out, but they lose multiple people. Jensen's going to die here likely as well. And then the question is, how much can TL get back? The TP should get him to safety. But it is Yeon pushing up mid. They can go over towards the dragon, so they're going to get the dragon. It looks like they're not going to get much more than that besides just fixing some waves, taking the dragon, getting a bit of gold. But this is definitely getting pretty dicey. This is one of those games that really is just going to come down to one big team fight, it feels like.
Yeah, I think realistically, Bwipo's kind of trolling by going for that top wave. His mid lane, there's 4 people on his team showing. There's no one on the enemy team showing. I think they could have just killed him earlier if Lee Sin used kick a little bit better. And then he just ended up getting his teammates killed and they lose Dragon. And all their Baron push is gone now. Ziggs can just clear all the waves. So they're going to have to wait till the next Baron to hopefully make a team fight happen and look to, you know, get the Baron and the game.
Yeah, I will say it's starting to feel like FlyQuest are struggling a little bit to deal with impact as well.
Yeah.
They don't have the most consistent damage. Obviously, Massu did end up getting LDR, but like Ghostblade into LDR isn't exactly the ultimate tank killing build. So I think he kind of realized, oh, like I actually am the one that has to deal with the front line, so he's kind of pivoting. But you know, impact does seem like he's becoming pretty tough to deal with.
Yeah, because Jensen itemized for full-on burst. He's just looking to one-shot the back line here.
You're not one-shotting a Koenig, Rooker, and Ksante.
Nope.
At the same time, how do you really kill Hwei this game? You know,
yeah.
He's also poking down a lot of people. You have to find a Lee Sin kick on him, but
yeah.
I don't think it's really easy for Lee Sin to find that kick on him. And I do feel like Ksante isn't going to be able to just stand there and deal with the Senna with Lord Doms hitting him.
No, I don't think he can just solo him, but I guess from my point of view, I'm thinking about it more, he just needs to waste their time while Yeon is hitting, right? And if he can actually just stay alive longer than Bwipo and Inspired and Busio and stuff, then he's kind of doing his job, you know? Less the solo mission and more which team is better equipped to actually kill the frontliners.
Yeah. The story of these fights have definitely been either one of two cases where Team Liquid frontline, they believe in Yeon to carry the fight, and they actually peel for him appropriately. And in the fights where they think, oh, Yeon's already dead, and they just try to go for the back line instead.
This is actually really interesting. It's a Seeker's picked up by Yeon. I was going to say one of the things that he's been really struggling with is every single fight, Busio just throws ult on him, and he has to back out. That's actually wasting so much of his time. He grabs Seekers here, so he can potentially immune that. You know, if they're full sending it onto him, we'll be able to have a little bit of that survivability. But this is not some tech I've really seen that much with on-hit Varus. Obviously, AP Varuses often go into this, but that is a fully different build.
I think it's I think 5-6 items makes a lot of sense. I think it's a good purchase for sure. I just
expensive stopwatch, though, I will say.
I just still feel like it's very expensive stopwatch. I still feel like Hwei is just so hard to deal with. He's going to have so much control of every choke and every bush. You have no real way of getting on top of him, and I don't think Ziggs has that same sort of threat compared to when you're comparing items.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, again, Jensen has basically a death cap on his opponent, right? There's the Seekers on APA's side, but you know, Jensen has a really high damage build. We'll see if they're going to be able to find any sort of an angle, potentially a Lee Sin kick or some sort of really good engage from core. But it obviously is tough, and they need to be able to create time for Yeon because they are less about the upfront damage, more about the sustained DPS, you know, with the Varus. But they've been doing a good job of kind of just spacing him out, throwing the Nautilus ult onto him. If they can't actually fully pile in on him and kill him, then they all just kind of back away from him. They don't let him get lethal tempo stacks.
They also have to deal with this ball wave right now. It's still a super minion going into the inhib.
The APA is there now, but they're going to have to run. Oh. That went straight through the tower.
Dude, Dredge Line is just a crazy ability in League of Legends, y'all. As Inspired is wrapping around, trying to see if they can look for a flank. Impact soaks up a lot of the damage already. Spiraling Despair thrown down into the top laner. Umti looking for the kick into the CoreJJ Magnet Storm! That was huge from Team Liquid, but can they carry this fight? Inspired is looking for the reset, but doesn't find it as the stasis from Yeon keeps him safe. Team Liquid just found a crucial play in the second game of the series.
Man, this is exactly what I was talking about, though. They've been throwing the Nautilus ult onto Yeon every single fight. This time they didn't. They actually full sent it onto Impact, I think, of all people, trying to burst him down, and that allowed Yeon to go crazy in this fight. It bought him so much time because it's all about stacking up lethal tempo, getting those blight stacks up, then you do the damage. This time he was gifted the opportunity to do so, and the Seekers as well paid dividends as he used it on the Heartbreaker from Inspired as he ulted on top of him, perfectly stasis that. Yeon plays it out well, and we'll see if they can secure it. Should be theirs.
It's a teleport from Bwipo to see if they can try and cut off any members here. Bwipo's gonna look to run one down, but they're just completely warded off.
FlyQuest had full control of this Baron side, and they decided to just go on Ksante. They have complete control. They have poke with Hwei, and they just completely grief a fight. Lee Sin finds a beautiful kick. I think we need to get a replay on that kick because Umti actually just one-shots the Senna, and this team fight couldn't even get flash off and bought so much space.
Jensen's in trouble.
Oh no, Jensen. He has flash available. Teleport is coming in from Busio to see if they can salvage it, but Jensen's completely cut off from the rest of the team. Impact is leading the charge now. See if he can find another knock-up on any of these members from FlyQuest. Team Liquid.
That's Soul, very likely.
Yeah, 5 on 4.
Yeah, Jensen gave over a freebie there. That is rough.
I cannot believe these games. It's such a banger.
It's a preemptive flash from Massu. He was scared of Impact, looking for the knock-up there. The rest of Team Liquid, can they look for another play? Just completely bullying them off the mid lane. Dragon Soul is for the taking, and they are just guaranteeing it.
Yep, going to be able to push up mid. I think they were saying, okay, is there an angle to actually pressure the inhib? I don't think they saw it, so now they're just going to take the Soul, guarantee that. Yeah, it's Cloud Soul. Yeah, it's not the one that people do love the most, but 20% flat move speed is incredibly strong.
Yeah.
I think people always feel, way too strongly about, oh, the proc doesn't work well with my champion's ultimate. 20% move speed is 20% move speed.
Ksante presses R and he runs at your carry. What are you going to do?
Well, and when you press R, that's even more. You get 40% boost plus 20% flat all the time. Yeah. So it's just like, they're going fast.
Senna has no flash.
Umti is looking for the play. Just kicks Busio. I mean, Impact is on the left side as well. Inspired's trying to look for the flank. They already take out Busio. Can Inspired find these? No, he cannot. No reset city. Umti right onto the back line, chasing out Jensen and Massu. But the front line is gone from FlyQuest, and a back line cannot be enough to stand up against Team Liquid's charge.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ziggs.
They're pressuring. They're going to look for the end here. Massu could be in some trouble. This would be a risky one to take. He doesn't have his ulti, so they're going to try to go for it. But there's only a couple minions, and there is low health bars, and Jensen...
Varus has flash ult in 2 seconds. Really look for it.
Just keeping the minions protected. APA just completely blows up one Nexus turret. Impact getting critically low. Does not have teleport, so he can't recall and look to come back. He has to play on this health wave, and FlyQuest will keep this game alive for now.
Yeah, it is really hard to push in Hwei there. They did force out Jensen's flash, but look at the health bars here. If you die on that push, they respawn, the game's over.
Yep.
So they are going to have to back off here, but they did get Soul, they did get Baron, they are up 5K. TL have really clawed this game back and are looking to be in a commanding position now.
Yeah, at this point of the game, you have no flashes on carries. How do you realistically play the game? Like, they just take over the entire map at this point. I didn't see TL losing the game from this point.
I mean, that was such a costly mistake from Jensen. Dying in mid really lost them a lot there, because now it is nearly an open Nexus, just the one Nexus tower. It's Soul, it's so much getting over.
They're just going to look to go top here, put the Ziggs W on the tower, one-shot that tower. What the can they do?
Nice.
What the fudge can they do?
What the fudge can they do?
I have to say, as Team Liquid are on the doorsteps of this base, this is the most confident within this series that they have looked versus the rest of their regular season. Yeon has been performing incredible, even in the game 1 loss. APA, I know, has still had some flubs here and there, but he has been undeterred by any of the focus from FlyQuest, whereas when we watched the regular season, so many unforced errors was the story, but it looks like he's bringing his best for this series today.
Yeah, they're looking really good. I think Yeon especially really standing out in this one, and if they're not CCing him, he is destroying him. Could be the last chance here for FlyQuest, but looking Inspired.
Almost died to Yeon there on the back. Force the flash. Inspired's going to recall. This inhibitor tower already fell in the top side of the map, and they should make quick work of the inhibitor itself. Super minions pouring in through the mid wave. She'll be pouring in soon through the top side as well. Bwipo taking a lot of damage. There's the engage. The Magna Sword right on top of it. AP and Yeon pouring as much damage as they need to. Impact, Jensen, Inspired, all fall in a flash. And the rest of Team Liquid, victorious in their bounce back, will tie up the series in this second game.
Oh, gonna go for one more kill in the Nexus. Not gonna be able to get it, but it is a win for TL. We're tied up 1-1. What a game from Yeon. It felt like any time they couldn't get Nautilus ult on him at the start of the fight, he was just absolutely roasting them. And in the final moments there, he had Flash, he had Zonius, and he knew how to play with that advantage. He was just walking forward, autoing everyone, saying, I dare you, try to engage on me, I'll just Zonius.
He gave me some 2022 Berserker vibes, so I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He played pretty well.
He's him?
He played pretty well that game. I'll give it to him for sure.
I was about to say, I have not seen Yeon this confident on stage since his final series against 100 Thieves Academy in the Proving Ground spring match. God, Yeon, in his sophomore year of the LCS, where so many questions were levied against him after his rookie year and people questioning of like, oh, does he even really deserve Rookie of the Year for 2023? But Yeon, in this series alone, after the regular season performance, this is awesome for Team Liquid fans around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also Inspired just lost the game after being quite ahead in the mid game. So I expect some mental boom, possibly. APA is definitely in their heads. I don't know what they're going to do about that.
Yeah, well, let's see. A reminder to all you fans at home.